but I was just watching Roadhouse the other day. Not the
new one?
New one. No,
I watched the new one 2 nights ago.
I watched the new one last night.
It wasn't that bad.
It's
I
on
watched
Netflix.
the
This
new
isn't
one.
crazy. You're all just a bunch of
It's on
deadbeats who
Amazon.
watch whatever's
Amazon.
there.
No, so I watched the new one a couple days ago.
It wasn't that bad.
It was.
You're out of your mind.
The
It
fight
wasn't that
scenes were good.
bad.
The rest of it was garbage.
It was
Fight scenes were shocking.
casting.
It was,
casting was horrible.
it was
What?
The whole thing was.
Wait,
it was
what's the
absolute
cowboy's name?
garbage.
One at a
It was
time,
the
one at a
worst.
time.
It's just a horrible movie.
The
But
new Roadhouse.
we
I've
watched
already
the
done
new
3 hours
Roadhouse,
on
it. Yeah.
and then me and the wife were like, she had never seen the original
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
I've never seen
And
it
then
to
I was
this day.
kind of like, oh,
Really?
we shouldn't have watched this new one before you saw the original Roadhouse. Then we
Yeah.
watched that.
And the original's better.
The original's
mean,
amazing.
7
Yeah.
bazillion times better.
Bazillion, Jay? That's not a real number.
It
You're an
is.
idiot.
Jake Gyllenhaal
Jay
was
is
cool.
stupid.
I
He
like
just
how
said
nice he was.
bazillion.
Horrible. But
The whole thing was so
Well, they
bad.
remade.
None of
First
them
of
can
all,
act.
I've done.
they
my
remade
thoughts are already
Jay's-
on
they,
wax.
They remade Jay's favorite movie, so he's already like, that's a tough start because you're already. It's just perfect. It also, Roadhouse is of that time. Like updating it doesn't make any
It's like
sense.
when they redid Point Break and Flatliners.
Yeah.
It's not about the movie. It's about who was doing it at that time. It's
Although Dune,
terrible.
better remake, I would say.
The original Dune is retarded.
I'll say
so
that
bad.
the original Roadhouse didn't have Conor McGregor's juicy plump ass.
It sure didn't, but it had.
It had a lot of 80s.
storyline.
It had a lot of 80s hair.
Who is the
A
guy?
lot of
The
80s
old
boob.
guy.
Much more nudity. Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
original.
The him in Roadhouse.
the
That is the
best.
epitome of attractive to me.
Goddamn
That's
right,
the hottest
Sam
man I've
Elliott.
ever seen in
Sam
my life.
Elliott.
Dude,
Boy,
the
that
new
hurt,
one-
don't it?
Oh.
The old one had this kind of like this 80s like mystique about like, oh yeah, everyone would always fist fight. And then like if it got really crazy, someone might pull out a knife or like something like
Yeah.
that. And the new one, they were like, it's like, no, we're trying to assassinate you. And I know you live on a windowless boat, but the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna show up to fist fight constantly at this bar. Like it just
Conor
it made
McGregor's guy.
I'll give you the. I'll give you
Dude,
the.
you keep on beating the shit out of us.
Have him
over and over
killed.
again.
I'll
Have him killed.
Use
You're
a gun.
clearly in some yeah, like you're in some type of gang here.
What
Your
about-
dad
Okay,
wants
let
him
me-
dead. He's in prison.
Let me give you the.
Kill him. He lives on a boat. Well, half of it doesn't have a wall. Just come right in. You know where he lives. We've
Sink the
established
boat.
All
that.
you gotta,
Here's the
dude,
problem.
fucking cut his fucking company of the anchor, push the boat away.
He's dead.
Where am I?
He said,
There's a million problems with this movie, but one, it didn't have to be remade at all. The original one,
Push the boat. And he's just sleeping and he just wakes up.
there's no. The problem is the problem in the original is in a weird Missouri town. They had to hire this guy because there's a mob boss there
Yeah.
that's charging everybody a vig and fucking over the town and treating everybody like shit and blah blah blah. And this guy wanted his bar to not be a fucking violent. So it's a stupid story as hell. So he hires a world-class cooler
Mr. Patrick
to come
Swayze.
and solve the thing. Whatever, but to stop this crime lord.
But it's more awesome
This
than that.
this movie,
Jay, stop downplaying how cool you think it is.
this
Jay
movie,
thinks it's so cool. I mean, yeah, you might think this sounds awesome. I'm like, whatever about it. But
So
it probably
cool.
sounds pretty awesome.
no, I'm defending that one. This one is he gets tricked into
a
helping
former UFC champion who took it too far after the bell.
Yeah, he lives with the guilt of
him
killing
to death.
somebody because a
He
referee
beat
didn't stop
Jay
the fight in
Huron to
time.
death.
oh.
It's stupid. He goes there to save a place because a
For
businessman
20 grand, by
a-
the way. $5,000 a week. In
So
today's
wet from your
economy.
lips. This one, the bad guy was trying to legitimately buy the Roadhouse for over market price because they wanted to build a resort on the Florida Keys.
And then the owner of this place, a 25-year-old black chick.
Yeah.
The
One
weed,
half of
the
two-
weed is
one
really
half
starting
of
to
two dope
set in.
queens.
You guys have to finish this description.
No, this is crazy.
You're
A
finished.
25-year-old black
over.
chick owns a bar in the Florida Keys.
Okay.
It
Move
makes
2
no
miles
sense.
away with your millions of dollars of price. It's a legit business offer.
Yeah.
It's insane. This movie's. Ay, ay, ay.
I
They don't
know.
even serve
Oh, I
black
hate it. It gets
coffee.
me heated up.
You don't understand. He owns 99% of this town, but he needs my shitty bar out of here in order to build a giant resort, even though he owns everything else.
And I'm
Everybody
holding
else,
on.
everybody else sold.
So he's
happy
resorted.
with their sale.
He's resorted to sending ninjas by every night to
Now,
try
sure.
to fist fight us.
Now, sure, I'm spending literally 300 times my profit on one bouncer for this bar. I'm making no money.
Who's gonna
and
have
it's
me?
a cesspool of violence and gang activity.
Yeah.
Leave the bar, you stupid bitch.
And by the way, when things start getting dicey, just starts killing at will. Now become a real liability.
And when he says they're getting
insurance-wise.
dicey, Dice becomes the new bartender behind the bar.
Oh, why don't you just take the fucking cash, you dummy? I tell this colored broad every day she walks in, this place, it sucks. The clientele is gay, the music fucking sucks. Take the cash, let's get a change of scenery over here. We're over there, we'll be over here now. We were over there, we're over here now.
Where it's in Key West.
Come to the Roadhouse, we were over there.
It's also
But we're over here now.
It's somewhat believable. Like, I don't know why, but in the 80s, in some small town, you'd be like, hey, you're at this bar
Bumfuck,
where they
Missouri.
gotta fucking have like a fucking, protective thing in front of the band because people are gonna throw glass bottles.
And the
But
singer's
then you're just
blind.
like,
Blind.
and then you're just like, oh, what if that was happening today in Key West?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it fucking wouldn't.
Key West, where a DoubleTree is $900 a night. Go fuck yourself.
How about
You're
just
telling-
Key West
you're
where it's like
telling
where
me
that's where
what's
parrot
happening
heads
right
and
now?
swingers go to retire.
Yeah.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
No one's fighting there. The toughest people we saw at a bar and thing pulled
It
his
was
ween.
us.
No, the toughest guy we saw in a bar walked in and pulled his wiener out and started dancing
Yeah.
around at a
Yeah.
closed optional bar.
We're gonna win away again, a margarita.
He came out. I was like, who's this fucking biker? And he just dropped his pants and started swinging around his little bird. His little bird
Yeah,
was
they all
bouncing.
ride bicycles in
It was
Key West.
wild,
Nobody has
dude.
a driver's
It was not a
license.
place where you had to bring in an international UFC murderer bouncer.
Who, prior to coming to the States, stole a man's blazer to cover his entire body.
Oh, and it was just, I mean, the whole thing was like, oh, it was just brutal. It
That's
wasn't
how I
even like-
imagine Conor McGregor was in real life, though.
Yeah.
There
Dude,
was
it wasn't even
no stakes. There was no
it's
stakes.
not, Lewis, it's not just that it was like, oh, the action or the fighting scenes were fun. First off, I didn't even think the fighting scenes were fun. But it's
Fighting
not like,
scenes were fine.
but
when he kills
I don't
him at
even-
the end with the
it was all right. I don't really enjoy that like over the top fighting
I
shit.
love
I thought it
I don't
looked
know.
cool.
I guess it was shot okay, but the things
I
like,
like the
in
boys,
between,
the slow degeneration from intellectuals to boys. Yeah, it was kind of cool the way they were.
a little bit.
And then at the end when they, yeah, that was
It's like a
good.
Nick
I liked
Swartzen.
it.
It's like a Nick
in
Swartzen joke. We
between-
always tend to fight. I do it too. You fall into cynicism, but I hated this thing so much. But I was like, the fights looked cool.
That's
I'm
what
not
I
saying it
said.
did.
But I
look-
think the point that Jordan's making is that we're just dudes, and it started off talking as like
It
actually
means something to me
Yeah, you're
because
right.
it's real to me. Damn it!
The financial economic class of Key West, it doesn't even make sense with the movies, but what about the punching? Yeah, they were punching and that was nice.
All right, you make a fair point. But in between that, I mean, dude, the whole scene where he's like, I'm not scared of what you might do. I'm scared of what I will do. You're like, dude, go fuck yourself. This movie sucks balls.
It was.
Jake Gyllenhaal was ripped.
He looked great.
He did- he
Winstrol
was-
and 8 weeks to die.
But his acting sucked ass.
yeah.
It was so bad.
It was awful.
There was no when they when
And
the
I don't,
guy goes when
I'm
the
not-
guy
nothing
had
against him,
they,
but
first
he
of all,
sucked. In
the
this
only
movie.
character they didn't try to recreate was Sam Elliott's character, so he had no stakes in the game. And then when they go, he hung out with a girl once for a few minutes and drank a beer on the beach.
Yeah.
And then when he's getting ready to leave town, they go, wait, that girl's been taken by the businessman who wants to build the resort. And he goes, oh no, I can't leave. Like, why would he go back? Like, it's like, yeah, call the police.
Dude, the scene on
what
the
the fuck you
boat.
want me to do about
the
it? We
scene
hung
on the
out
boat.
for 5 minutes once.
Jay, the scene on the boat where the dad's like, we screwed you. We didn't, in fact, kidnap my daughter. And then the other guy's like,
I
double
did.
cross.
Yeah.
We did kidnap your daughter. You're like,
Oh,
what
now-
the fuck am I watching
Now-
right now?
now
This
please
is
help
the
me for
worst
real.
thing I've ever seen in
He
my
goes,
life.
oh no, my daughter. Then he sits
Oh,
down again.
how are you gonna double screw me?
They didn't write any more like direction
That's
for
it?
that character. He just sat at the table and like,
They want to show you.
looked around.
They want to show you how crazy mean the bad guy is, the
So
legitimate
awful.
businessman who wants to build a resort. They want to show you how crazy he is. So in a perfect storm on a yacht, he's asking a guy to straight blade shave his neck.
Yeah.
And every time he gets nicked, he's like, goes like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna throw you overboard. It's
Loose
like-
wrist. It's not so difficult.
It's
What? He said
He's-
do this thing and then he
They're
would
on,
go,
they're,
ow!
they're,
Getting
on,
furious,
they're
yeah.
in choppy waters on a yacht, and he's having him straight razors.
Yeah.
and every time he nicks him, he's like, what the fuck is wrong? It's so
That's bad.
It is something I would actually do to the gas digital staff.
That is true.
That wouldn't be that
Somebody
good.
shaved me on a perfect storm.
Dude, I met a girl who straight razors
the movie
her
was
pussy
like
hair.
the movie was like Lewis at 7 wrote it. a 7-year-old Louis J. Gomez was like, what if I was on a bumpy sea? And I said, hey,
And then this guy with a really nice ass is walking through and he beats up everybody in a foreign town. Then he has to come and beat up everybody in this town.
We gotta show more of this guy's nice ass.
They should have shown more of his fucking sweet, juicy,
Whose
thick.
ass were they showing?
Conor
McGregor's
McGregor's in
ass,
good
dude.
shape.
Fucking.
That's not.
You don't think that's a nice ass? If I had that ass, I'd kill myself.
I'd wear assless pants.
I would nonstop walk around with no pants. on.
Lewis, you would be a
Where's his
UFC
balls?
multi-division
He has no
champion
balls.
if you had that ass.
Yeah.
Where's that guy's balls?
He has no balls.
Oh no, I think
probably
I think
CGI'd them out.
I think they
Oh, there's some
jingled,
ball.
I think they jingled down a few times in this shot.
There we go.
Nah, that's puss.
Those are pussy lips.
Connor's
Damn,
trans.
that movie sucked such shit.
Dude, shut up, dude. His ass was sweet.
Fuck, it was bad.
It was I think it was a fun movie to watch and make fun of.
Wait, who was Conor
That makes
McGregor in
sense.
it?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was him.
It was pretty much himself.
He was the bad guy.
Character
Oh, he's
named
the bad
He was
Knox.
an unkillable guy.
Knox.
Unkillable.
Yeah, they had because they covered his McGregor tattoo on his chest,
Yeah.
and it said Knox, 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 which was weird to me because it was like you didn't have to do that. If you can cover it, you can just cover it.
Covered
You have to write it
completely.
3
Yeah,
times.
but it's the joke. Knox. Who's there? Me to kill you.